The Pursuit of God by A. W. Tozer. Read by Robert Kipling. Then shall we know, if we follow on to know the Lord, his going forth is prepared as the morning. Hosea 6:3. Introduction. Here is a masterly study of the inner life by a heart thirsting after God, eager to grasp at least the outskirts of his ways, the abyss of his love for sinners, and the height of his unapproachable majesty, and it was written by a busy pastor in Chicago. Who could imagine David writing the 23rd Psalm on South Halsted Street, or a medieval mystic finding inspiration in a small study on the second floor of a frame house on that vast flat checkerboard of endless streets, where cross the crowded ways of life, where sound the cries of race and clan, in haunts of wretchedness and need, on shadowed threshold dark with fears, and paths where hide the lures of greed. But even as Dr. Frank Mason North of New York says in his immortal poem, so Mr. Tozer says in this book, above the noise of selfish strife, we hear thy voice, O Son of Man. My acquaintance with the author is limited to brief visits and loving fellowship in his church. There I discovered a self-made scholar, an omnivorous reader with a remarkable library of theological and devotional books, and one who seemed to burn the midnight oil in pursuit of God. His book is the result of long meditation and much prayer. It is not a collection of sermons. It does not deal with the pulpit and the pew, but with the soul athirst for God. The chapters could be summarized in Moses' prayer, "Show me thy glory," or Paul's exclamation, "Oh, the depth of the riches both of the wisdom and knowledge of God." It is theology not of the head, but of the heart. There is deep insight, sobriety of style, and a catholicity of outlook that is refreshing. The author has few quotations, but he knows the saints and mystics of the centuries: Augustine, Nicholas of Cusa, Thomas à Kempis, von Hugel, Finney, Wesley, and many more. The 10 chapters are heart-searching, and the prayers at the close of each are for closet, not pulpit. I felt the nearness of God while reading them. Here is a book for every pastor, missionary, and devout Christian. It deals with the deep things of God and the riches of His grace. Above all, it has the keynote of sincerity and humility. Samuel M. Zwemer, New York City.